The end.
Limos and Roses is a humorous and occasionally offensive podcast. All opinions are based on the bachelors and bachelorettes being in the top 99 percentile of their respective genders with regard to their physical attributes. The Limos and Roses podcast fully supports the LGBT community. Any reference to a bachelor or bachelorette's sexual preference is merely conjecture based off of observations. In other words, no offense. And thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to the very 41st podcast of Limos and Roses.
Woo, 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 woo,
Woo!
woo.
Whoa.
We nailed it this week.
Yeah.
This, of course, is the triumphant return of Chris Harrison, jump-rap-filled, mental, LULL, semi-sober Bachelorette, maybe gets married podcast that you all know and love. The recap podcast over all the recap podcasts that cover season 16 of The Bachelorette. Thank you so much for showing up. I love how that gets bigger every single week. As you may or may not know, this very show began with our own Bachelor Fantasy League entitled Limos and Roses. On this podcast, I am joined by my husband,
Jet!
and our buddy,
Frace.
and me. I am your host and moderator, Chelsea. So, y'all, Chris Harrison is back.
It's a good thing we can't see below Frace's waist right now, just for all our viewers.
I know. I don't have pants on.
We go right into a cocktail party. I'm kidding. Wait, is this really a date breakdown?
Breakdown.
This date is pointless.
Moving on. Yeah. She
we
said
talking
there are
about-
two sides. She said there are two sides to Blake, and I was like, a left side and a right side. Anyway, Frace, you go first. Let's go Frace first. You know,
We're talking
like
about
we
the Crystal Master, right? The Crystal Master.
I know.
But I
And
would've-
here I thought there was only one episode of Mandalorian left.
Yeah, exactly. And I would have rather had actual Crystal as opposed to this whole.
Oh
date.
yeah, crazy Crystal.
You know,
I
she
forgot
just
about
got she just got divorced, and she's actually now pregnant, not with Goose's child, but with her new boyfriend's child.
Makes you wonder why they got a divorce.
Is it Tom?
Because this show doesn't work.
Let's talk about Geeta. Geeta is a Reiki crystal master princess. I'm not sure, but they crack a geode and she reads the geode. They take a crystal and this bish tells them to disrobe, and she sees the chakras, and Tayshia's heart chakra is hesitant. And Tayshia says the quote, "I care for Blake, but when I looked into his eyes, I was looking for more confidence in the situation," which translates loosely to humans as, "I'm not that into him."
This would have been a fun date had they had any sort of connection whatsoever. It doesn't matter how many chakras you have if they're not connecting with one another.
I think she dumped him, and it is what it is, and nobody was surprised. He'll be in paradise for a little bit. And then she got really, really heavily dramatic. I mean, those were tears not for Blake. She knows it's going to get heavy, and she saw the future, and she saw this moment happening with people she actually has feelings for, and that was what was really affecting her. And it was the first time this was the first time when you go, oh, the game is kind of over.
I do feel like, especially for the Bachelorette, and with all these older guys, it's a case of get or get off the pot.
This is when she starts the lawnmower and just gets ready to just mow him down, because she's like, "Oh, I gotta rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just
Guys,
go."
we
She's like,
all called it. We said this week is going to be a bloodbath, and a bloodbath it was.
It's Shark Week, dude. Shark Week.
You beat me to. I was going to say the chum was in the water.
So she takes Riley aside, and she does, in my opinion, she takes the cop out and says, "I don't want to meet your family when my heart isn't 100% meeting yours."
I mean, this guy handled the breakup in the best possible way that you could ever handle a breakup. No, he got it. He said nothing that he could do would like change that in that moment. So he said, I'm in love with you and I'm going to leave because I respect and love you, essentially. And he was so eloquent and just so, I just thought it was like one of the greatest mature breakups I've seen.
So yeah, poor Riley. We all liked him. I think he showed enough that he might have bought himself a day on Paradise.
So, I think you guys, it's time for a Rose Rundown.
Oh my gosh, the Rose Rundown. It's a pie. The Rose pie.
I love that I just showed the world in straight up quarantine style that I'm literally not wearing pants. Like,
Not wearing pants at all. Ben already has a rose. So, Zach C.
AKA winner.
The Clarks it is.
Ivan.
Yeah.
I haven't the faintest clue how this guy has a chance to win it all, but I like him. Had to bring it back one more time because that'll be the last one.
He's gonna be second place. It's gonna break his heart.
Well, maybe third.
Brendan.
Yeah, called it.
Yeah.
By the way, all my hometowns accurate.
Yep, you and Chelsea both nailed it. My note was perhaps he finally has someone to die for.
Who goes home? The same guys that were on the 2-on-1 that producers kept around for another episode that should have gone home a long time ago because neither of them should have stuck around.
They got produced. The producers did their job and they produced them.
Yeah.
So.
Noah has some real tears and he has a new stash that he's like regrowing out. And Bennett went home twice, so he's twice as shocked.
Bennett definitely secured his spot on Paradise.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's in. Yeah.
So these 4 remaining guys are pumped. And it's time for Mental Lull.
Sorry, I fell asleep. I was lulled to sleep by the mental lull.
I had to wake you up from the mental
Thank you.
lull. For those of our listeners that don't know, every season we do a mental lull or a mental lull, Bachelor or Bachelorette pending. So I always hate this episode. And Bennett, thank God, he's wearing a scarf and Riley has on a turtleneck. So we'll get into a corner on those, I'm sure. But this recap skips right past Claire, which I loved because it's not about her. Go to town.
The fact that there was no audience meant that there was nothing to egg these guys on about. And also, I think essentially there were only 2 moments of drama this entire season. One was the Noah Bennett producer-driven rift, which in actuality, I don't think that those guys even hate each other. They're just not going to be friends. And then the other one was the Yosef nonsense. Damar tries to get some airtime finally.
I love that he raised his hand and said his name, like to remind everyone at home who the hell he was. He goes, hey Chris, Damar. Like it was a symposium or something. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. I felt like the star of this episode, in a sense, was Riley.
He was awesome.
He was just amazing on all fronts, from like defending even Claire to, being so kind to Tayshia, and just like that whole reconciliation between those two was kind of a beautiful moment.
He's so real. And then he has like no agenda.
Just so real,
he has no agenda.
So let's talk about Yosef. Yosef is here, and he's we're musical theater people. In case you didn't.
Yeah, clearly.
So Yosef, we know what he's about to say. Nothing that matters because his actions on this show were so silly because it seemed like he had never seen the show before getting on it.
When you're given so many opportunities to just say you're sorry, Say you're sorry.
I think that he came on, and honestly, I don't think he realized the dudes were against his point of view. I think he thought he was going to have support, actually, because he feels like he stood up for like everybody. And then it was quite the opposite. I believe it was Boy Band Kenny who said, he was like, dude, you were being really dramatic and speaking for all of us like it was this insulting thing. It's just a Speedo date. And he goes, we had the right to say no.
Watching it back, you know, in the moment we were so, you know, kind of like over Claire and just being
over
like,
Claire, right. So somebody telling her off about anything was just
we were just like, but then like watching it back, I was like, you know what? That was not handled well.
He was acting like she was sacrificing lambs, and he was it was a Speedo contest. I think he went back to the real world. His daughter and maybe ex-wife or whoever, they were all proud of him, probably. Like, Dad, thank you for standing up. So he can't go back and retract his statement because he's still on national television, and it's his first appearance since said debacle. And I think that he had to stick to his guns because his little impressionable girl thought it was awesome.
And like we all do on The Bachelor and Bachelorette, we do it for the gram. So he would lose.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's fine. So Tayshia comes into the mix. She joins in, and all the guys have a little something to say about it. Let's go to text.
This Riley Tayshia apology or reconciliation of sorts, or just he got the answers that he was seeking. And I thought that was like one of my favorite moments between the two of them because it was just real and honest. I mean, they had a lot of amazing moments that were real and honest. It just it's one of those, you're amazing, and you're just not my person. This is the finest group of guys that I've seen on The 100%. Bachelorette. They weren't able to have any drama because they were just these really great guys.
Yeah, agreed.
Do we have any bloopers comments?
No, I just thought they were great. Yeah, they make fun of themselves. Yeah, they are themselves. What are we talking about? The whole show's a blooper.
I mean, but it's serious. It's almost too serious. I think we should take a solemn stroll for a second. Just kidding. Let's have a noisy second line partay into Frace's fashion corner.
Oh my God. We're already in the corner, and I mean, listen, a lot of things happen in this world, but the one thing that you can count on is that every week on this podcast, you're going to be able to get back into the corner, and you're going to be able to visit the La Quinta with all the fashion that you need. Listen, she starts off with a peach halter high neck, and I'm not crazy about this mini dress, but you know what? I love her hair, so all things are forgiven. Harrison is dressed down in a very Frace look, so obviously I approve. There's a floral long dress. It's strappy and it's pretty. There was a lot of fashion in this episode. There's also leopard print shorts on Zach, to which I say absolutely not. You're not in the jungle. This is the same guy who wears awful tennis shoes, okay? I don't need to say it again, Zach. You're not listening to me. Also, this is just a personal thing for me. I mean, I guess if you have the thighs, sun's out, guns out, skies out, thighs out. These guys love to wear really, really short shorts. I know it's a look. I'm personally just not a fan. Perhaps when Style Spotter gets in here, she can explain why that is a thing. The braids on Crystal Lady, I'm on board with that. I mean, like, look the part if you're going to play the part.
Exactly.
Central casting has something to do with that, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were like, we need a crazy Crystal Lady. She's like, I got braids. All right, you're in.
They were like, we've had this girl on file for 30 years. She's been waiting for a gig.
I've been in quarantine for over 6 years.
I'm wearing denim on a beach. Here we go. I love the swimsuit on Tayshia. I mean, boobs. Also, she's in a white two-piece jumpsuit with buttons. It's super cute. She changed after dumping Blake. She was like, you know what? I dumped Blake. I got to change. This guy is always wearing these awful mock turtlenecks, and his name is Brendan, and I think we all know who he is. And it doesn't matter if it's high or if it's mock or if it's short. It's all a turtleneck, and get out of here. You're not a turtle. In the rose ceremony, Tayshia's look is absolutely stunning. This is a satin kimono dress. It's unbelievable. Also, it's got a beautiful. I was so excited. I wrote so fast that I can't even read what I wrote. Chris Harrison has on a black ring during the mental lull, and I love the gray suit and the skinny tie. I was wondering if that was part of his collection. That's just a question for any listener
fair.
out there who might be able to tell me. And of course, Bennett is in a scarf, which is like
Scarf.
bringing it all the way back. Bookend
Scarf.
that look. I'm with Noah on calling out bad fashion on the graphic tee band boy. Riley has socks on. Okay, so listen, have we talked about how much we love Riley? Oh, guess what? He's got socks on because he's a fashionable, well-dressed, good human being. I like the velvet silver crushed long sleeves with the structured shoulders on Tayshia during the mental lull. Some other people that I was watching with were not a fan of that. But, that's the whole thing about fashion. And listen, just because you're in Frace's fashion corner, you don't have to agree with my fashion choices. This is all personal. Everybody's fashion is different. If you disagree with me, feel free to not send me an email. But if you agree with me, feel free to, slide.
Yeah, there you go. And no, you're right, dude. He's a Homo sapien. Wear socks. You walk upright.
Yeah, we walk upright, put some socks on your feet, all right? Get me out of the corner.
Those families from Central Casting, those fashion choices are fascinating. But before we get into any of them, I was hoping between part 1 and part 2, these 2 Monday to Tuesday episodes, that we could bring up with a pop quiz.
Oh! And here I thought you were going to say a bathroom break, but I can do a pop quiz.
Maybe after the pop quiz. So, here are some questions about these hometowns. All right? Because this pop quiz is the Hometown Hopefuls edition. Show me that smile. All right, so here are some questions about these hometowns. Eyes up. No looking at your notes. Number 1. Brendan's family. What's his brother's name? And what's his brother's wife's name? Phrase first.
Who won and who two?
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Phil and Sarah.
All right. Daniel and Christy.
Ooh, I was close.
Oh.
Question number 2. I love dad names. We met 2 dads in this episode. Name as many as you can. Again, it's a name game.
I'm going to go with Reverend Ivan.
Reverend Ivan?
I don't know who that was. I don't know his name at all, but I liked his demeanor. He was like,
oh, yeah.
Listen up, son.
So
I'm going to talk to you about the way things are supposed to be. Like, he was very like, whoa, okay, this is the dad.
His name is very that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to say Clarence.
I'll give you one hint about Ivan's dad's name. What did you say?
I said Clarence.
That's his dad's name. His dad's name is Clarence.
No.
For real?
I was going to say that's a good one. That's a great... That's
his name.
That's the pick of 41 episodes? That's the pick, dude. That might be the greatest pick out of thin air that we've ever had.
Any guesses on... I love Zach's dad's name because also such a dad name. But Zach's dad's name. Any guesses?
I'll go with Leonard.
Ooh, that's a good
name. I'm going to go with Robert.
Ooh, also good. His name is Douglas. Question number 3. First to answer wins. Which of the 4 remaining men does not receive a jump wrap greeting?
Nope. I'm gonna go. Oh, he said Brendan. Dang, I'm gonna go Zach.
Whoa. Frace says Brendan.
I just screamed. I screamed the first name that came to mind. I don't know.
Ivan does not receive a jump wrap, guys.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right. Oh, a little swig of water as we move into.
Well, yeah, we went to the lobby.
We did go to the lobby.
I got refreshments. Yes.
Got ourselves a treat. So. This Tuesday episode begins with a brief montage recap, moving on into what we're about to see. And Chris Harrison enters to inform everyone that hometowns won't be in hometowns. Obviously. We know that Zach's parents and brother are here. Ivan's family is here. Ben's sister is here with one of his best friends, but Brendan is going first, and his older brother's wife, and most importantly, niece Aaliyah is there. So they're all the best guys. Do you guys have any words to say about this intro before we start?
Well, speaking of the best guys, as soon as like Chris Harrison like says who's going to be there, and then he like leaves, and like they're getting ready for their family dates, all those guys hug one another, and like not like it's like a
they're
very
buds.
it's like they're like, well,
They're
here we
buds.
go.
This is the last time that all of these guys can have like a real legit hug before they become Eskimo brothers.
Yeah,
there you go.
You're not wrong. Oh my
It's
gosh,
true.
that's a whole other level. Here, Jet and I trying to like justify it, and then we're like, but actually, if you get down to the brass tacks of it, that's kind of odd.
You're all about.
Yeah, but it is in fairness, Chelsea, in fairness, it is a little tacky for our show. It's Inuit brothers, please. By the way, and before we all do realize Ben tells the world that he has never cried really or can't cry.
I want to get into that. Yeah,
I'm sure you will. I was just laughing because I'm thinking, well, for what Ben lacks in tears, Brendan makes up for in spades, dude. That guy's got enough tears for the both of them, so we're doing okay. We got enough tears with Brendan alone.
Yeah.
That's why he wears turtlenecks, dude, to soak up. You know how you wear a headband when you jog? The turtleneck soaks the tears from dripping all the way down to where his heart is because it's so sensitive. You don't want to drown it.
I feel like if and when Tayshia breaks up with Brendan, she should give him a turtleneck or, the gift of a thistle.
Nice. There it is.
Drop that track.
So it's just so pretty.
All right. It's perfect for the lead-in for Brendan's hometown date. He gets a running start jump rap from the lady herself. Yeah. And Aaliyah is ready for some carnival games. She's like 12 and not 5, but that's okay. But their uncle-niece relationship is very real, which I love. Let's talk about this start to finish, from the greeting to the humping horse race. Let's go.
All right. From start to finish, boring. That's all I really have to say about it. And then there's a lot of weight put on to producing offspring quickly, which is, a lot. I mean, this Brendan guy, it's like, I want a kid stat. That's just like a heavy thing to say at a carnival. Okay. It's like, let's ride these horses. But speaking of riding horses, we're going to be raising some ponies of our own pretty soon.
So moving on into the night portion of Brendan's date, Tayshia meets the short brother. Go to text.
I really like the older brother and his wife. I think they're a great influence on Brendan. When I say like I don't like Brendan, I actually like Brendan. I just don't think like that he's supposed to be with Tayshia. He's not like a bad guy or anything like that.
Right.
He's just bad at. He just has terrible fashion. I think at this point they're like barely friends. I mean, they're cordial. I don't know. My whole thing was like, I don't know. Like, and I think if you don't know by this point, then no.
At the end of the day, you said it already, Frace. I don't see it with these people. I like Brendan. He's fine. I love Tayshia. I don't think they're right for each other. And again, I've talked about this a lot, and you've kind of provided some counter arguments here and there. But at the end of the day, I think for a successful relationship, one party has to make the other party, or both parties have to make each other laugh a little bit. You have to find humor.
I agree.
Even if it's laughing at how nerdy they are.
I agree 100%.
Doesn't offer any bit of respite from the storm that is depression that he harbors every waking minute of every damn day.
All right. So, my friends, we move forward into hometown hopeful number 2. Zach gets a jump rap, you guys. He does all these cute New York things that are not really New York. There's a cardboard taxi, teaches her how to hail a cab, which she's a pretty lady, so she doesn't realize, like, she actually doesn't have to say anything. She can literally just stand in the middle of the street and do this, but he doesn't talk about that. Yeah, there's a bagel stand with non-New York City bagels. There's true New York pizza that's not true New York pizza. They sit in Central Park, which is apparently on the water. It's really the most non-New York date I've ever seen. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's go to Texas.
Yeah.
It was daytime.
It was fun. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said the date is more fun in the first 30 seconds than the entire carnival. I said basically this is a carb-heavy date. This is an all-carb date. You know, the fountain kissing was cute, I guess. All I kept thinking was like, that water's dirty. Tayshia is more nervous to meet his family because she's simply more into him.
I actually give kudos to the producers for making all this work the way they did. I actually thought it was interesting and fun and silly. And they're patting themselves on the back because they saved a shitload of money this season and they still made it happen. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot like they were hanging out at a Six Flags that's closed and there's no roller coasters. So why would you be there? But they made it happen.
So we move on to the night portion of this date. Tayshia's time with Zach's family. Let's go to text, shall we?
I loved the father and the mother. I thought they were very charming, endearing, kind of, you could kind of see where he comes from. But no talk of Tayshia whatsoever when Zach was with his mom.
Yeah.
Tayshia, loves the family. I can tell that she likes the family. She likes the family because she likes him. But also, like, what's not to like about them?
There was so much depth to when mom said, I'm happy just to see you. Mm-hmm. And he kept talking about how he never smiles. I thought this went a little darker than one would anticipate. He was like, isn't it fun to see me smile? And I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot of baggage with this situation. Mm-hmm. I think that there are really, really heavy, deep issues that if they choose to be together, they're going to have a lot to work out.
I don't know if they've had the real relationship conversations. I think that they've had the real conversations about his personal issues that he's worked through and that he's still working through. I think that she's also had those conversations about herself with him. I don't think they've talked about themselves together. And
agreed.
Those conversations that need to happen, which is why I found it fascinating when his mom brought up, oh yeah, he didn't want kids and just wanted to be an uncle before this show.
I think that's the one serious thing that not enough relationships in the real world talk about. Like, the kid thing is serious. And we're so driven by just the pure physical nature of everything that we'll just go, yeah, sure, whatever. And then the second it happens, it's real. I think that the family thing's a very serious discussion that should be had. I know a lot of people who've gotten married. And
if you're going to get married, yeah, for sure.
That's what I mean. And that's what this show's about. And we're supposed to be. And we've seen on this show where they go, oh, I had a divorce because I wanted kids and she didn't. And I'm like, then why'd you get married to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, you thought you were going to change his mind on, I don't know, the biggest issue you will have as a family. I don't mean to call it an issue.
I mean, Jed, let's be honest. Everybody thinks that, when you're in a relationship, you're like, he's perfect except for this one thing that I can change.
Right.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
She's perfect except for this one thing that I'd like to change.
It's a fool's errand.
And sometimes it can be changed, honestly. I mean, like, it's not, maybe he wants kids now. So we just don't know.
It can be changed sometimes, I agree, but to gamble on it with regard to inviting 200 people to come watch you say your nuptials and to gamble that maybe one day he'll change in that regard, that's a big gamble. And you're using a lot of other people's finances and time to gamble on it.
I thought it was a huge gamble to just assume that at one point you'd wear pants more often than you did. And look at you now. You're wearing pants, and we've been married for almost 5 years. I'm so proud of you.
Wait, me? I didn't wear pants before?
Not really.
What do you mean? What did I wear?
You always wore gym shorts, like all the time.
Oh, that's what I'm wearing right now. We just saw.
Please tell me you didn't wear cargo shorts, because I can just end this pod right now.
Oh, I love cargo shorts. You can end it, dude. I love them. Dude, it's got a place for your phone, a place for your wallet, a place for your keys, a place for my wife's keys, a place for Frace's keys. Cargo shorts are awesome.
It's got no place in my corner.
Okay, so Tayshia is sold on moving to New York. If she's not sold on Zach, she's sold on NYC. That's why he is my personal front runner. How do you guys feel?
Ooh, look at that.
He's my front runner as well.
Agreed. I agree. Across the board.
All right, so let's move on. Since we've covered everything that has been Zach, everything that has been Brendan, someone to die for, let's move on to Everyone's favorite guy. He's the best. This is Ivan. There is no jump wrap, which I'm fascinated by.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute cooking day with a video from his 4-year-old niece, and I love the little nuggets. I love little nuggets. It's a little bit boring like Ivan, but that's okay too. Let's talk about this daytime portion.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think this is like a super, super cute date. I do think that there's a major connection there. The heritage is obviously an important factor in their connection as well. You know, I kept writing words like adorable. I love how much they get along. He doesn't have darkness in him, meaning like he's just more of a fun light in a sense. I mean, there's just so much heaviness, so much weight, you know, not to say that that's not important too, but like we're on a dating show, you know, I mean, and I think, you know, and when I say he doesn't have darkness, but then he also has some like serious, you know, with his dad having cancer twice and a heart attack, which is like, whoa. And he's here amongst, you know, the pandemic. And that's all I have to say before going into the night portion. I'm a big fan of these two together. I think that she'll end up with Zach and have regrets about not being with Ivan.
I think we know where all this is going. Like, yeah, she called him safe. That's not a good term to hear from the person who's expecting you to propose tomorrow. And to me, so I'm kind of going to a different direction here for, you know, I was sensing a little distance from Ivan actually for the first time, to where I went, maybe he's not as like kind of, oh, I'm a nice guy. Maybe he's intentionally distancing himself. I just felt that at this moment he was seeming that way, and we're calling it boring and kind of just quiet and sweet. I think he might be intentionally not being super excited, but I don't know. This is my new theory. I know that we're all thinking, how could you not be into Tayshia? But dude, everybody has their thing, and maybe it's not his jam. It's just kind of where my brain just started shifting this episode. So but we'll go to the night portion and we'll hash it out a little more. Okay.
Moving on into the night portion of the date. We meet Ivan's family. We have a spoiler alert, surprise visit from Ivan's brother Gabe, which is very sweet. So let's go to text about this. This is a very interesting family dynamic. It's a very sweet family, very loving family that he comes from, and we expect no less because Ivan's kind of the best. So let's talk about it.
The mom with Ivan, I felt like she was such a mom moment. She was like taking Ivan down a few pegs. She goes, I almost love your confidence. Like, he was like, have you seen these? There's still 3 other guys.
We see this every season, by the way. The parents are like, okay, so you're on a dating game show and you're in the final 4 and there's 3 other dudes. And no offense, son, I love you. You're one of the most attractive, cute, sweet human beings I've ever seen, but you're a little out of your league. So I'm worried for you. That's the sense I was getting. Moms get that way, dude. They'll be like, "Oh, he's gonna have his heart broken," and it's really them going, "This woman is a 10. This is a stunner. My son is out of his league. I'm worried for that reason alone, regardless of their personalities."
I get that, but I know what an attractive guy is, but I don't think any of these other guys are like these Adonises of humans.
But she doesn't know them. She hasn't seen them. What I'm saying is she hasn't seen them. She knows her son's in the final 4. And she's just like, ooh, good luck, baby. Nicely done. Yeah. You must play the game well.
The brother has some of the best quotes of the whole night. He says things like, this righteous endeavor. He says things like, encompass those traits. And he says my favorite quote of the night, loyalty is an action word. So just like marinate on all that.
I like that. Yeah. I hadn't noticed that, but I like it.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting character in Ivan's life, and I'm happy they brought him on. It was just very interesting to see the cover of a book not match the inside in a sense.
Sure. And it reminds us of how quick we are to judge.
What you had said earlier, the one thing that I think, there's many things. They have a connection, of course, but one of the things that I find refreshing about Ivan and Tayshia is they do laugh with one another. I think more so than any other couple. I said from the get-go, right when they had that lava date, I said they're going to be best friends. That doesn't mean that they're going to get married.
Ivan, this is where I also was thinking about my idea that maybe he's not as interested as we think. His brother asked Ivan how he feels about her. And Ivan said at his young age, oh, she's definitely top 3 or 4 in his life. And I'm like, and I wrote, well, what a coincidence. You're in her top 4. So we're all on the same page at least. But my favorite quote was at the end of it all, Ivan said, it went better than I thought it'd go. And she was pleasantly surprised. So I'm just thinking, that's very sweet. Can we get, on an unrelated note, do they make bronze roses? Do they? Can we get a hold of them? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, you're right. It's like when you go to like a buffet and you're like, oh, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. The crab rangoon didn't have as much cream cheese as I thought it'd have, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I ate it. So
anyway, so I guess we're done with Ivan. Sorry, buddy, but we love you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Ivan's still around.
We're moving on to wait, what is that? Hold on. It's back. It's back, you guys. The light has returned. Oh my gosh, I think we need to jump right into the shining, beaming glory that is Frace's fashion corner.
Too sexy for my love. Too sexy
a second
for
one?
My love.
I've been beamed up into the corner.
Guys,
socks.
He's got socks on. Thank you, Jen. I love you, brother. I love you so much. Thank you for wearing the socks.
This is fashion.
Yeah, that's. Holes in the socks. I'll take them over no socks for sure.
Oh, there's holes, of course. I didn't even notice the holes. There probably are.
So straight.
Speaking of nice white socks, Tayshia looks amazing in white. We all know this. But be careful when drinking coffee on a pillowed chaise lounge, okay? Because if that coffee spills on those white pants, those things are done. So the white cream look, again, always for Tayshia is a good thing. She's got a bandeau top on with short sleeves. It's a little romper. It's belted. I wouldn't wear a bandeau, by the way, when you're meeting family because the puppies were out to play. Just a personal choice for me. Just keep them reined in a little bit. You're meeting the family. Now that's just, you get what I'm saying. Here we go. Have you seen this dress before? It's a simple button-down slit ribbed dress. I thought I maybe had seen it before, but I was like, Tayshia wouldn't wear the same thing twice. No. Brendan, I'm not a fan of your fashion. We've talked about this. Why a full button-up of the polo? I mean, it's hot out there. It looks like listen, I get it. It's like a European thing when you do the full button-up, like with like your button-downs. I'm like, oh, finally, he's wearing a nice shirt, but it's buttoned all the way up. So just get out of here. He just can't figure it out. I love this look what a surprise. It's on Tayshia. It's a cutout pleated dress. This is a Saks Fifth Avenue sundress. It's high, low bottom hem. I mean, stunning. Zach with terrible high tops. I mean, it seems like I write the same note every week. I mean, also, her hair was on point for all these family affairs. I actually was a big fan of Ivan's look on his date. He just had a simple Henley with black jeans and nice, white low tops, not high tops. But I think it's because it's a very Frace look. I love her white booty shorts because I'm a guy when she goes out on the date with Ben. And it's also a light cascade blue-green top that she matches those with. But let's be honest, I couldn't take my eyes off the booty shorts. Also, speaking of a booty, when she slips into those leather tight pants with the velvet top and the structured shoulders, I mean,
I don't think there's any slipping into that. I think that she had assistance on putting those things on.
Let's just put it this way. My chakras were up. Here's the other thing. In the rose ceremony, it's so pretty. It's a magenta dream. Her body... Here's the thing about Tayshia's body. She just drapes the fashion over that body. It's beautiful.
Her body is the showcase for the fashion is... I guess that's what models are. They're the showcase for the fashion.
I mean, she's model worthy. Here's the thing. Brendan is not model worthy because he's in another f***ing turtleneck. I'm sorry to use the word, but when I refer to turtlenecks.
I thought you were going to say f***ing turtleneck. Sorry to use the word turtleneck again.
Yes, yeah. In the end of this episode, was Tayshia, she says it's like a lot, and I said it's like a lot when you don't wear a bra. Take me out of the corner. She didn't have a bra on in the final like moment.
Ben's hometown. So we have a jump wrap. There's this cute little Venice beach trip where they walk around the resort like they're walking on the beach. She takes a wellness shot. There's hat and sunglass shopping. They go swimming, but we didn't see that because he's like, this is the beach. This is what I do all the time. And then they have a little chat. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I think this is a mainly physical attraction from what I gather about their chemistry. Here's what I'm going to say about, no emotional depth for this guy and the fact that he can't cry and all these things. It goes into our mental health awareness type stuff. I honestly think, and I have no idea if this is true, but if I had to wager, I would say that Ben is heavily medicated because of his previous suicide attempts, because of, things that have gone on. I don't know. And that's totally fine. But I think that some of the switches that, allow for the chemical reactions that we need to express or show emotion are a little bit numbed from other chemicals that might be in his body. I don't know if that's true, but that's like, he's not assessment. I hope that nobody's sitting there thinking that like, this is a bad guy. I think this is a guy that's dealt with a lot and maybe doesn't have the capacity. I also think he's never been in love. And so later in the night,
well, you know what'll fix it. You know what'll fix it, Frace, is going on national television and getting dumped publicly. That fixes all mental issues. I agree. He has deeper rooted issues. I would never be quick to criticize, what he's been dealing with and where he stands emotionally. It's obviously anyone who says, I can't cry. That's just, we're like, well, you could, but I get it. You're crying right now for help still. Like that's what that is,
Here's the other thing. It's like, what I found so interesting was like he has this conversation with his like best friend, and she basically says, "You're in love. You're in love," and then he goes, "Oh, I guess I'm in love."
Oh, are we there yet? So we're in the night portion.
So yeah, I was gonna say we're in the night portion because the day portion of this is a nothing burger, like most of them. This night portion to me is so fascinating because of exactly what you just said, Frace. Like that best friend. At the moment she opened her mouth, I was like, she's the best. I want to grab a beer with her. I want to hang out with her. I want to talk with her about life. She just seems like the most genuine person. But at the same time, she's also going to push you in different directions. So when you have someone that you're like, oh my gosh, Frace, he's the best. Like, I'm going to seek his counsel for this. And Frace tells me something. Frace, you could tell me what my feelings are because we've all had psychological conversations with each other, right? And I'd be like, he might be right. He might be right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is what I feel. So I get it. And she seems like that person to him. So, unfortunately,
that's fine.
I've had conversations with friends that have led me down a different path than I thought I was going to go.
That have helped you shift. And they've helped you do a shift.
Yeah, it's helped me do a shift. And I have really amazing friends. I think all of the shifts that I've done through the Council of Friends have benefited me exponentially in the long run. So I'm just lucky to have really great friends. And I think that she's a really great friend to him. And I think that from her observations, she was like, I think you're in love. And I think she was basically saying, I think she knows him well enough to be like, you're not going to recognize it because you have all of the things that you're dealing with. Right. But I think that you're in love. I don't know. Who knows? We can't say.
To me, this was to end it real quick. This was Peter and Rachel Lindsay to me. That's what this felt like. Like Peter was trying to be convinced by everyone around him that he's in love with Rachel, and Rachel was like, "You're in love with me, right? Right?" And he was just like, "Bye." That's what that means, dude. And that's fair. On Rachel's part, she's doing the right thing. I think she would put him ahead of maybe even 2 of the other guys, maybe 3, but he's not where she is, and she sees that. And I think that his lack of emotional availability was intentional on his part. I think he pulled a Frace move, which I definitely appreciated, because he told Chris Harrison that he loved her, but he couldn't tell her that he loved her. And I'm like, oh, that's such a Frace move. Frace would go, well, before I say it to her, I got to talk to Chris. So Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, but you did this before the rose ceremony, which is where it's the end of the line. So we get it. It's fine. I think that they both are, they're better people for it. It all worked out.
So the date ends. He doesn't say he loves her. And thank God Chris Harrison is back for the rose ceremony. I think we should just go right into the rose rundown.
Another one.
We've been in the corner twice and now 2 rose rundowns? What are you trying to do, Lee?
Oh, Jet, no, stop. Don't ride the horse, Jet.
If you're horny.
All right, so we're here. Rose rundown time.
So, rose number 1, Ivan.
Yes, please.
And
sure.
the silver medal goes to...
Mm-hmm.
Rose number 2, Zach.
Just cue the ding, 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 Jet.
Yeah, this is the guy. It's clear, I think, at this point.
Number 3, Brendan.
A safe bronze medal, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. I used the term saved as well. I said saved because Ben couldn't say he loved her.
They have their goodbyes, right? Ben is crestfallen, right? Can I walk you out? Always just the most heartbreaking words to hear from a bachelor or bachelorette. And I do personally believe this was a very easy decision for her. I think she knows who's winning easily at this point. What do you guys think?
She gives out the roses. Obviously, Ben doesn't get one. And I said, will he finally learn to cry? It doesn't happen. And I found that I agree with you, Chelsea. I don't think that she was more broken up about some of the other guys. I think she was actually kind of annoyed or she wasn't annoyed. She was just like, what happened here? You can't say I love you. Is that really what it is? Or, are you just... Can you not say it, or are you just not? But whatever it is, this confusion, I can't deal with.
But in fairness to her, let's think about it this way, or in fairness to him, rather, what's to keep her from saying it first to him?
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
And see how he responds.
Yeah.
All she has to say is, "I'm in love with you," and then he goes, "I'm in love with you too." Rather than she would know it, but if she threw that at him. His initial, that 1 millisecond that she would see in his eyes would answer her question. I would rather him not say it than to say it falsely just to get into a fantasy suite. Because we've seen a lot of conniving, calculated guys do that. So all in all the guys, still amazing guys. But the biggest winner of the night is Zach's mom, who only wants to meet Chris Harrison because she's exactly like me.
Yeah. That's so true. Then when he popped in for the finale, I forgot about that.
She was like, okay, Tayshia, whatever. I want to meet Chris Harrison.
Chris Harrison ends this episode by saying, everything is about to change. And they hang on his every word. And they keep hanging on his every word.
Yes.
And then he says, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
Amazing.
It was so well done. It was the best acting Chris Harrison has ever done.
This has been
Jet
and Frace.
And Chelsea, leaving you with these parting hashtags. Hashtag show up. Hashtag boobs. Hashtag Chris Harrison. Hashtag mental lull. Hashtag fashion corner. Hashtag Zoomcast. Hashtag pop quiz. Hashtag La Quinta. Hashtag hometown hopefuls. Hashtag socks with pants. Hashtag Christmas is coming. Hashtag White Claw. Hashtag mango White Claw. Hashtag questioning my confidence. Hashtag chakras. Hashtag no socks. Oh, we're all here for the right reasons. Bye, guys.
Oh, hey, hashtag whole star.
Yeah.
May we? And
and I think next week we are going to have a special guest, but I think we should leave it. We'll make an announcement on social media. I think we might have a special guest next week, so stay tuned for that too. Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Way to drop that one. Careful though, because you're going to get people too excited. It's not this person, because it makes it sound like it's this person. But one day, perhaps we will have this person on.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know who I'm speaking of.
Yeah, we all know who's going to bring some party to the party.
3, 2, 1. Lil Jon!
Lil Jon! Shot, 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 shots.
Everybody! Shot, shot, shot.